Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Welcome, everyone. Mofelola, good evening. Adeleke, evening. Ewa Adeniji, blessings, good evening. Joy Akanonu, Caroline Shorunke, Jefferson Uzoma, Omonike Ikeade, Tyra Ojimadu, Rochelle White, Patti Bafu, Folashade Kikelomo, Mashu Esong, Joy Akanonu, again, Anna Thompson, good evening, John Lucky, Gladys Shorunke, Gladys Nshank, Nikki Christian. Let's go ahead and share the link as you are coming in to join the program. Charles Smith, let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share the link immediately. Deborah Cole, Apostle Yomi Onadikwe, welcome everyone. Ben Ofori, you are all welcome. Nice to see you all. Ajayi Amaka, Folashade Kikelomo, Nkiro Jimadu, Silkwa, Basho, Dr. Obien Sufficient, Deborah Cole, Omonike, Shigon Wafo, Dorothy Dora, Elizabeth Adeshola, Chukwamaka Oyema. Well, today I'm going to, for real, begin to do the training that I set out to do this week. Perishing properly. We are going to now do the topic that I wanted to do. I know it's the same topic. I started talking about how we should welcome our child to the world. But before then, what I wanted to talk about was just about raising up children, raising up godly children. So today, at last, I got to it. I needed to lay the foundation. So everything I did before now was laying the foundation to how to raise up godly children. So what I was talking about pregnancy and about how to welcome the child to the world is all laying the foundation. Now, how do we raise up those children once they are in the world? Okay, I want to tell you ahead of time that I'm going to be dealing with, as time goes on, maybe sometime this week, I'll be dealing with how to raise up children of different age categories, age groups. So I'll be definitely talking about, that is Dr. Sufficient putting the link to a book there. Dr. Sufficient is releasing a book in a few days. So please follow that link, and then you'll be able to see the book she's writing, the beauty of troubles, of problems, of challenge, the beauty of challenge. And then you could go and follow that link and see the day it's going to be. You can actually do the pre-order, so it will be cheaper, more cheaper for you if you do pre-order. So that's for Dr. Sufficient BN. So anyway, here we are. Yes, so before I want to warn you ahead that I'll be dealing with, sometime this week, I'll be dealing with how to raise up children and what are the peculiarities of raising of children of different age. So from age 0 to 3, then from 3 to 7, from 7 to 10, from 10 to 12, from 12 to 14, from 14 to 17. So I'm going to be dealing with different ages of the children and how to what to know, what you must know about these age differences and what you must do to be able to successfully raise up children of different age groups. I'm going to start from 0 to 21 at least. And then I will actually tell you all the differences, all the peculiarities of raising up children till they die. Till 70 years old, I will tell you the peculiarities of all ages. But raising up children, I will stop at, I would more deal with till 21 when they no more need you. But today, I want to lay the foundation. I want to lay the foundation today. So today I'm talking about the rules or the laws of raising up godly children. The laws of raising up godly children. Laws of raising up godly children. Number one law. Don't expect your child to be like you or to have the right value system that you have or you dream of them having automatically. Don't automatically assume that your children are going to have the right value system because they are your children. Don't assume or expect your children to have your values or your belief system, your value systems, just because they are carrying your DNA. The fact that a child is carrying your DNA or the fact that a child is your child does not mean that it's going to behave like you. The fact that a child is carrying your DNA does not mean that it's going to have the best virtues that you have. The fact that a child is your child does not mean that it's automatically good or it's going to be automatically good. That's the theory, and that is the myth that a lot of people live in. They say, I don't want to adopt a child. So why don't you want to adopt a child? Well, you don't know what the father did or what the mother did. I want my own child. I want my own child with my own DNA, with my own blood, with my own wife. First of all, you never know what DNA your grandfather put in you. So you don't even know where you are coming from. But because we are biased to ourselves, we are always seeing ourselves as okay, as good. I am okay because I am me. I am good because it's me, I am me, right? But others, I'm not sure because they are they. I cannot tell for them. But for me, I am okay because I am me. I am me, I'm just okay. Well, how do you know? Do you know who your grandfather, 5 generations behind, do you know who they were? Do you know what they contacted and what they are putting you? You don't know. So how come now you thinking that because you are you, then you are better than that other person over there? The only reason why you should think that you are good is only because of what you are putting yourself, or because of the value system that you have imbibed, because of the knowledge you have acquired, and because of the work you have done on yourself. And the only reason why your child is going to be different or better than that other child, the only reason why your baby or your child is going to carry your value system or DNA or character is only if you sit down to spend time to consciously teach and imbibe those value system that you carry to your children, into your children. But if you don't do that consciously and intentionally, you will be surprised that you will be living in the same house with your own children of biological. Everything is biological. I mean, you could marry you are a virgin, your wife is a virgin. Or both of you are virgin, you met clean. And then your children will grow up wayward, totally different from anything you expected, or totally different from anything that resembled you. Because it is not the blood that determines who a child becomes, and it is not the DNA that decides all the time, but the values that is put in that child. So, and then why you, even if you say, okay, it has to be my own child, it has to be my own child. Why should it be your own child? Well, my wife must give birth. But do you know where your wife is coming from? Do you know the garbage that family is carrying? Do you know the choruses or the challenges that that person is having? So what I'm trying to say is that the physical mating of man and woman that leads to the birth of a particular child does not necessarily determine the success or the greatness of that child. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something else. History has proven to us that if you take any great person, all right, it is 1 in 1,000 chance that their immediate children will ever be great. 1 in 1,000 chance. So, for example, if you have a millionaire right now, most likely the children of that millionaire will never become millionaires. It's only in one instance in 1,000 years when a father is so successful, highly successful, that it will be a carryover to the children. It almost doesn't happen. Because when your generation is highly successful, it's most likely that you are giving comfort to your children. And since you are giving them comfort, they have not gone through the same suffering and they have not paid the same price. And there is no sense for them to pay the same price that you have paid. And that already means they will never become who you have become. So hardly will you see really great men having great children. Oh, very rare, very rare. 1 in 1,000 cases. And most likely the next generation will be weaker than the generation of the father that was great. In another case, in another instance, it could be that the 3rd generation could come up again, or the 5th generation, or the 4th generation, but not the immediate generation. It happens, but very rarely. Once in 1,000 cases, in 1,000 instances. So, and also another reason why that doesn't really happen is because most of the time, the parents who are really great, they don't take the time and they don't have the time to really sit down with their children and inculcate in them and put into them all the principles that made them great. They don't have time. They are so busy becoming great. And because they are so busy becoming great, they don't have time to sit down with their children to try to make them great. And they just assume that because they are my children, they are my children. What do you expect? They are my children. So since they are my children, they don't have any option that they'll be great. No, it doesn't follow. Or we could say, but they are my children. They live in my house. Because they live in my house, they see everything. They will definitely be great. You are in for the shock of a lifetime. You are in for a shock of a lifetime. I see it. I know the kind of work that we have to do with Pastor Bosse on our children just to become as serious and focused as we are. And still we are not, it's not working out. Even though they are good, they are serious, they are, but we have to put them through stress intentionally to bring out the best in them. So this number 1 point is that don't expect your children to become like you automatically just because they are your children. Or just because they look like you. The fact that I used to, when I was a child, when I was in Africa, ignorance is a bad thing. When I was in my village in Africa, I used to look at people and their children, and I would say, oh, that's the one that looked like the father. That's the one that looks like the father. It's just a copy. Okay, it means he will just become so successful as that father. Look at the lady. He looks exactly like the mother. And the mother is so brilliant. It means she's going to be brilliant also. That is biology. The brilliance or the intelligence or anything like that it's not depending on the flesh. It's not depending on the biology. The biology who looks like who doesn't mean anything at all. Everything depends on the values you put inside, on the information you put inside that child. If you did not put the right information inside the baby or inside that child, it doesn't become anything, even if it's a carbon copy of you. So until you invest yourself, putting the right information and principles in that child, they don't become who you expect them to become. The fact that your blood flows in them is immaterial. I mean, look at King David. Look at King David. He had all kinds of children. He had a child that was a killer. He had a child that was not just adulterer, but adulterer that was ready to sleep with his own children, that were actually sleeping with his own wife. He had children that were raping their own sisters. And he was a man that was after the heart of God, that had the heart after God. The man after God's heart. He had all kind of theater or theater art, drama and theater art in that his family alone. And only one, Solomon, took after him a little bit. But even he went and took 1,000 wives. So it's not about the DNA that is flowing in that child. It's about what you put in, the principles that you put in. The time that you find to put in the principles. That's number one. The number one principle you must know about raising up your children. And what does that mean? What it leads us to the second principle. The second principle is this: you don't raise up a child by just correcting him or her, on the run. Like, you don't raise a child by accident. You don't raise a child by giving wrong by instructions. Like, who did I tell? Oh, listen to me. Hey, come here. And smack him and say, come on, go and do this. Who did I tell? That is not upbringing. That is not bringing up your child. That is not upbringing at all. That is just emotional impulses. Those are just emotional impulses. So you don't raise a child just by correcting him and shouting and raising up voices there and screaming at him. Who did I tell? Come here. Come and greet uncle. Oh, come and greet brother. Come and say good morning. Say this. That is not the way you raise a child. A child must be raised up in an intentional way. So for your child to become somebody that you want that child to become, you must coat dress that child. You must coat dress him. You must assemble that child. So how do you do that? It means that you must intentionally have a strategy, have principles, have laws that you abide by to raise that child up. So you must intentionally put and inculcate and build in particular principles into that child. So which means you must have a rigid time on daily basis when you gather the children, meet with them, and you form and create a microclimate, an environment, an ambience, and sit and put those children in that ambience for 1 hour a day, or maybe for 30 minutes a day, or maybe for 1.5 hours, maybe not more than 2 hours in a day, every single day, where you meet with them and you have a topic. You must have a topic for that particular day. So a concrete topic that this week, for example, this whole week, just like I'm doing with you now. So what I'm doing with you now is basically the way I work with my children. You take a week, a whole week, one topic for a whole week, and say, okay, how to love God, for example. So the whole week we all sit down. I'm not talking to them. I'm not teaching them like I'm teaching you now. We just open the topic. We open the book and the article. We read it. All of them read it. I just sit down as the administrator or moderator, and we all discuss it. We get to know the principles of how to love God that day, then for the whole week, and then we give them assignments. Everybody come to practices. Why love God? What are you do that intentionally. You are not teaching them like classroom, but you make it exciting. You make it funny. You make it interesting. You make it entertaining, welcoming, and you make them enjoy it, so that you meet with them regularly to form concrete value system into them. So a whole week we are forming the value system. Why is God? Why must you believe in God? That is a value system for the whole week, for example. The next week, why is it, or what does it mean to love God? The next week, why love people? The next week, why honor father and mother? The next week, why not sin? Why sin is bad? The next week, why you don't need to follow the peers pressure. Then the next week, why you must not date and have boyfriend and girlfriend. The next week, just take one topic after the other. So you must code dress your children. You must package them. You must assemble them, and you must put together those value systems. And I have a whole book in Russian language how to do that, how to form. What do we call it? How to form core value system in your children. I have actually about 6 books already on how to raise up children, godly children. And I have one with the principles that you are supposed to be building into them on daily basis. I think I will go through some of those on weekly basis. I think I will go through some of those with you this week. I will give you some of the topics and how to work with your children and so it is predictable. Just like I said, I used to say that life is predictable. Life is predictable. So you can predict and you can raise up your children to become, exactly the way you want them to become. You can raise them up to become perfect, to become efficient, to become good the way you want them to be. Just by you knowing what you want to do. It's all by laws. Everything is by laws. So if you understand this law, the principle of intentionally dress coding, intentionally packaging, intentionally assembling into your children the value system that are needed and necessary, they will come out to become just like that, like you intended them to become. Like my children here in Ukraine here, everybody is thinking that my children are just like as if they are coming from the textbook. As if they are story children, as if they are not normal, as if they are artificial, as if they're not artificial, as if it's too good to be real, as if they are too good to be real. Because it's an intentional work. It's an intentional work. For people in our church here, they don't even know that children could be as exemplary as those. It doesn't matter either it's the one that is 2 meters already taller than me, or the one that is small. It doesn't matter. Same thing. No problem for me, no problem for their mother. But it all took a process of hard work. Intentional upbringing. That's what it's called. Intentional upbringing. Next point. Next law. The next law. Most people, most families raise up children through what they feel. So if a mother is feeling nice and she's in good mood, she will take you and hug you and say, oh, okay, come, oh, my son, my daughter. But if that child does anything wrong, what do you say? What do you do here? Come to You don't raise up children by your feelings. You don't let your feelings and your emotions interfere in the process of upbringing, children upbringing, especially women. So this is a principle. This is the third law. Don't raise children by your emotions. Don't raise children by emotions and feelings. So if you feel nice, you pamper them, you kiss them, you bring them close. If you're in bad mood or they do something bad, you begin to react to what they do bad. So now you react to the child when it's good. When it's bad, you react to the child also bad. When, and then, no. Your children upbringing is not an emotional or, emotional thing. Or, it's not an emotional thing. It's not about how you feel. It's about following rules. Raising up children, raising up godly children is about following rules. That's why if you read the book of Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes, you will see, my son, listen to my instruction. It's all about instructions. So raising children is all about giving instructions, passing down instruction, communicating instruction, building a bridge. Not about emotions at all. Because emotions will be communicating the wrong things to them. Emotions will be communicating the wrong thing to them. They will be understanding the very opposite of what you intended for them to understand. Don't raise children by emotions and feelings. Next law. If you really want to raise godly children, never think that those children are your own. Don't fall into the deception of thinking that your children are your children. They are not. They are a trust that were given to you by God. Don't fall into the deception of thinking that those children are your own. They are not. We are only caregivers, caretakers, and you are only in charge for some time. You are only in charge to take care of them for some time. Judith Ali is saying, what if the child is being naughty? How will you undo that? Well, that's why you must follow all this week's teaching. These are just principles and the laws I'm giving. We'll break them down, or we'll go to all of that different situations later on. So don't monopolize your children. Don't turn them to your possessions. Because once you do, you begin to idolize them. Once you begin to look at the children as your own, they will turn to your idols. You begin to treat them as idols. And you begin to idolize them. And once you idolize something, you lose that thing. Once you idolize them, you begin to lose them. Or they begin to hate you. Yep. Next point. Next law, never exalt yourself over the child. Never see yourself as superior to your child. Ooh, that will be tough for Africans, I think. Never exalt yourself. Maybe not just Africans, most parents. Most parents want to see themselves as the Lord and Savior of their children. Most children want to exalt themselves over their children and see themselves as better and superior. You shouldn't see yourself as better and superior over your children. Never treat your children as inferior. Treat them as God treats you. Treat them as if they are your children that God has entrusted into your hand to take care of. They are God's children, even though even though you are better than them, in the sense that the only thing that makes you better than them is just because you know more than them, you are senior to them, but they are God's children just like you are a God child yourself. They are God's creation just like you are God's creation yourself. You too, one day, were a child before. And one day, you will be weak and they will be strong. One day, they will be taking care of you. So never exalt yourself or see yourself as superior to your children. Even your own children, never see yourself as being superior. Because if you see yourself as being superior to your children, then you see yourself as being superior to other people too. Meanwhile, nobody should see himself as being superior to another human being. Actually, the Bible says that he that is first should see himself as last. He that is higher should see himself as low. So the kingdom, the law of this kingdom is that the greatest should see himself as a servant. And the senior should see himself as the junior. So that's the way this kingdom works. You have to humble ourselves intentionally. You have to, and this is not just towards your own children. We should never see ourselves as superior to other human beings. All human beings carry the image of God. All human beings are God's image carriers, are God's children. So never exalt yourself over other people. Never see yourself as better than other people or superior to other people. See them as your brothers. See them as your sisters. See them as a family. We are all equal before God. So even if you are the senior pastor or you are the billionaire or the millionaire or whoever you are just been given grace to serve. That position of seniority that you have is for service. That position of superiority that you have is for you to be able to intentionally humble yourself and use it to serve other people. So children also must not be treated as if they are worse or inferior to you. Never look down on your children. Never look down on your children. Next point. Don't raise up your children with the thought that you are helping them now, so they have to pay you back. How do you say that? Don't treat your children as if I am lending you now. Now, a time is coming, I want you to pay me back. You say, all I'm giving to you, I'm lending you. Don't treat your children as if you are borrowing them something, your life, your care, and your love. Love them, not expecting anything back. Love them the best you can, give the best you want to them, not expecting, don't be, what is that word? In Ukraine here, in Russia here, we call it koriste. Don't be, don't have, don't look for your own interest when you are raising up your children. Do your best. Huh?
Profit gain.
Yeah, don't.
Self-interest.
Huh?
Self-interest, profit gain.
Yeah, you shouldn't have self-interest to profit, to gain. Don't treat it like you are putting debt on them. Don't let them feel the debt of what you are doing. Don't let them feel as if you are borrowing them something or you are lending them something, as if you are, doing them some favor that they have to repay you back. No, you are doing doing service to God. You are carrying out God's instruction to you. You are obeying God's instruction. So, don't treat that child as if he's going to be owing you, and now you are going to be chasing after him to pay you back. You remember I gave you that one. You remember I sent you to school. You remember I did that to you. Now pay me back. And that will put unnecessary pressure on that child, and it could break him. It could break him. If you were not willing to take care of the child, why did you give birth to him? If you know that you are not fit and you are not in the position to do it without expecting anything back, why did you start the process in the first place? And some children even tell their parents like that. Why did you give birth to me if you know that you are not able to take care of me? So why are you now making me to be the one to feel guilty as if I sent myself to this world? I didn't send myself here now. You are the one who brought me here. Now why are you treating me as if I am now the one to blame? So don't put the blame of yourself, of your work, on your children. Serve them as if you are serving the Lord. Give your best, give them your best, and let them behave and teach them the right principles. And if they are taught well, if the right principles are given to them, they will be grateful. But it's not enough to be grateful just to you. They must be grateful to God and must be grateful by the way they treat humanity around them. So don't treat your children, don't raise up your children with the burden of expectation that now you must do me this, now you must. Do your best, give your best, and leave the rest to God. Okay, next point. On the other hand, don't kill yourself morally, and don't torture yourself if you are not able to give your children everything that you would have liked to give them. Don't kill yourself, torture yourself, or blame yourself, or condemn yourself that you are not able to give to the children the things that you would have liked to, or that you would have liked to, or that the children themselves want you to give to them. Make sure you give them the best that you can. Make sure that you do the best you can for them. But your best might not be enough for what they want, or your best might not be enough for even what you desire, what you would have liked to do. But make sure that you do your best. Now, you should blame yourself if you have not done your best. If you have not done your best, yes, maybe you need to blame yourself. Maybe you need to condemn yourself. Maybe you need to push yourself. But if you have really done your best, if you are doing your best on a daily basis, leave the rest to God. Let them know, and let your conscience also bear you witness that you have done your best and that you are doing your best. By the way, let's go and share this message. If you are here and you have not shared the message, that's the only way for you to get a copy of this message. So go and look for the share button. The share button is under this video. Go press the share button. You'll be able to get a copy of this message on your timeline. And maybe also some other people will be able to watch it as well. And you want to write something there so that it could encourage them to see. So go and share the message, go and share the link, and then, go share the link to this message. Let's go share the link. By the way, yesterday I spoke about MMM, right, in Nigeria, and I'm sure that some of you probably have heard the news. I just released my first article, and this very same day, we started hearing the news that it's like the thing is either crashed or about to crash, or it's almost crashed. So if you have not read my article on MMM, I wrote the first one today. So it's on my Facebook there and on my blog as well. So you could go and read it. And tomorrow I will release another one. So every day we are going to be releasing some articles like that. So now, next point. Let me see. Let me see some of the things that you people are writing first before I continue. Gladys Mwosu said, this is very bad that we didn't know these things. This is the way we raise up our children because that's the way we were raised. We don't know any other way. Well, that's why Pastor Sunday is here. To share with you other ways and to share with you other principles of how to raise up children. Paul David said, don't be animalistic parents. Yes. Now, Caroline Shoronke says, growing up in Nigeria, my Nigerian friends and I would constantly mimic and make fun of our parents. Ooh, wow. Aunties and uncles for the emotional way in which they brought us up. Yeah. Because Africans, most of them are like that. But you don't need to see, you will not see that with my children. And my wife is not like that. She is not so emotional like that. And I am not too. You don't raise children by emotions. You don't raise children with emotion. You raise children with principles. So we will reenact what they did and said to see who had the scary experience. We were living in fear, but all we could do about it was laugh and accept it as how Nigerian parenting is. Yeah, because they raise their children in fear, and it's a pity. And some people are still doing that up to now. Rochelle White says, thank you. This is what I needed. Wow. Deborah Cole says, what actually happens is that some parents take their anger on the children. Yeah, very bad. Folasha, they said, this is my topic for real. This principle explains why Pastor Dr. Adelaja is the way he is. Never exalt yourself above your children. TY is saying that Pastor Sunday doesn't exalt himself above people on this platform too. Why is Pastor Sunday so? Everybody is saying, why are you so down to earth and simple with us? Because that's the way it's supposed to be. Because you are a leader, you are a pastor, doesn't mean you exalt yourself above other people. It is the principle of servanthood, Morenica said. TY says, this explains your unique nature, Dr. Adelaja, the humble nature. You are so great and amazing, yet you carry yourself so graciously. We almost forget how awesome you are. Morenica said, I still remember when Pastor Sunday came to preach in our church, he carried my handbag to help me out as I was carrying other stuff. I was so amazed. Despite high status, Pastor Sunday serves. Yeah, that was in Sacramento, I remember. But your husband was there. He never saw your bag. Yeah? Your husband never saw those bags, huh? I don't want to embarrass him, but some men need to learn, I guess. Jefferson said, this one is a huge one. Oh. My dad still tells me I'm owing him up to now. Ooh. Even after building him a brand new home in the villa Wow. T.Y. Moore. You know, those things, Jefferson, those things, they put unrealistic expectation on the children. Now, Jefferson, I don't know what part of Nigeria you are coming from. I guess it might be from the eastern part of Nigeria. Now, you know that, especially from Anambra area, I think so. Maybe not all of eastern part, but mostly eastern part of Nigeria. You see the way the boys, you know what the men, the Igbo boys of Nigeria, what they are doing? It's like there is an amount of pressure on them. It's like, you know, the way I was actually talking to one lady who is an Igbo lady. She was telling me that it's like the boys in the Igbo land, it's like they are the curse of Igbo land. It's like the boy, all the men want Igbo boys. They want Igbo child. They think that just by giving birth to a baby boy is a blessing. But the way it's turning out is as if the boys are the problem of the Igbo land right now, the men. Because they are the ones causing all the troubles, carrying the drugs, and, you know, as if it's the only country, as if it's only Igbos that are in Nigeria. Because they are the ones causing all the trouble with the drugs and, you know, all those demonstrations and things like that. And the thing is that it's not because they are bad, it's just because giving birth to boys doesn't automatically result in you gaining. And what Jefferson has just spoken about now is a very important thing, because I'm sure it's not just Jefferson family that is putting that expectation on him. I think a lot of the culture, Igbo culture, puts a lot of demand on the children, on the boys especially. So that's why a lot of them have to struggle to survive and make money one way or the other by all means. And it's just very surprising that no other part of Nigeria is having that problem. No other part of Nigeria is having that problem. Not the East, I mean, not the North, not the Middle Belt, not the, maybe the Edos now started having that problem. But it's like they are more sending the women forward to do it for them. But the men are coming in the back. So, it is, what I'm trying to say, the point I'm still trying to make is that we shouldn't, the parents shouldn't put too much pressure on the children. When the parents put too much pressure on the children, that you owe me, you must repay me, that is where all the problem starts from. And see now, Jefferson had just said that my father still tells me up to now that I owe him something, even though he has built a house for that father. Yeah, and sometimes it's the whole community that is telling you that you own them. And that's why a lot of people need to go back home on holidays, and they want to build a house in the village. They want to do some show and do some, you know, they want to do something extraordinary. And to do something extraordinary, you got to have money. And that's why many of them have to compromise themselves to do that. So it's a cultural thing. And these are some of the cultural things that must be addressed. And it's kind of strange, and I think not right that I'm a Nigerian, but I think it's not the best thing that I am addressing this, because I think there is an Igbo man that must address this, or Igbo woman that must address this, so to help their people. Because if I'm talking about this, some Igbo guys will jump on it and say it's because I'm an Igbati boy that's why I'm saying that, because I'm a Yoruba man. Some people will jump on board and attack me. But really, I'm just saying is that it's a question that must be addressed by the Igbo leadership, of how to, you know, change and address the culture that is putting demand on young men, making young men to go and do desperate stuff. They are risking their lives everywhere, not just with drugs. They are risking their lives even with the trade and a lot of things that they are doing. We just need to help them and remove that pressure out of them. And especially the pressure that they own their parents just because their parents raised them up. But if you didn't want to raise them, why did you give back to them? T.Y. says, my daughter can do vocal about this, and now you see, can be vocal about this, and now you see these children get sense. She says, your mom, is your job to live and care for me. Tayo says, you are amazing, sir. Your teachings are melting me down for good. melting you down for good, right? Yeah, Olatunji says, I wish all the parents in the world could listen to this. Noel Okushuku said, wow, serve your children as if you are serving God. It's amazing. Deborah said, don't put pressure on yourself to please them. Yep. Nkiru Ojimadu said, my dad used to say, I would not depend on any of you. I used to think that he didn't know what he was saying. That man knew something. Yeah, you see what Nkiru is saying now? That is exactly the culture that needs to be propagated in the culture, in both all of Nigeria, in all the families. Olukayode says MMM is gone for good. Money monkey madness. Money monkey madness. That's what they call Afolabi says, sir, this message is timely for this generation. Easy Egbe, thank you very much, sir, for this. I've not finished, though. I'm just reading your comments. I've not finished all the points, so I still have a few points to give to you. Make you don't go. Don't go away. Don't be thinking to thank me yet. I'm not through yet. Noel Okushuku said, yes, Pastor is so down to earth. It's mind-blowing and eye-opening. Lola Shorinke said, I read your article on MMM. It's very enlightening and informative. I've shared it with my friends. Monica said, Pastor Sunday, yes, the husband didn't see the bag because some men can't do what you are doing. I see you as a Superman. Wow. Everybody could be Superman. If all the men are like you, this world would have been a better place to live in. Well, that's why we must teach these things. Bemi Orekoya said, whether MMM is frozen, suspended, or put on hold, or whatever terminology they may want to use, the truth is that it will unfortunately end in tears. Yeah, I'm going to be releasing topics, articles on MMM every day for the next 7 days, I think, or for the next 8 days, for the next 1 week. So that MMM is finished. Even by my articles alone, they are doomed, because I'm going to be writing that article until it gets to the whole of Nigeria. Okay, Darlene Madu is asking, sir, as I was going out today and I started thinking about this message, and my question is, when a woman trains up a child or a children and they are grown up, does that mean that she had fulfilled her purpose because God gave her that duty also? Just asking. Yes, you just need to raise them up and don't be hoping that they will come and be grateful. Some of them will be grateful, but some of them might not be grateful. So, so just raise them up, do your best, invest in them, be faithful to God, and let God reward you. And some of them will come back and reward you as well and be grateful to you, but not all of them will do that. But, you've done your duty towards the children, but you still have your own calling apart from being a mother. Apart from raising up children, you still have your own calling anyway. So follow through with your calling. Well, let's continue with the point. Let's continue with the points. The next point, make sure you don't just love your children. Well, as you are raising up your children, make sure you express love to your children the best you can. Give them the best love you can, but not just to your children. Give the best love you can as well to all children. Extend that love to all children. Make sure you love all children the same. Don't treat, if you are treating your own children well, and you are raising up your own children well, you are giving the best to your own children, don't mistreat other people's children. Don't do less to other people's children. Otherwise, everything you are giving your own children, while you do the good stuff, while you are mistreating other people's children, it will still come back. The bad things you are doing to other people's children will still come back to hit your own family and your own children. So, if you really want to have or raise up God-fearing children, give them your best, teach them the right principle, but also treat other children well. Treat them also well, and treat them the way you will treat other people's children as well. Okay, what is Fola Shade writing this time? Fola Shade is saying, really down to earth. Okay, I think he's talking about me. Pastor Sunday is really down to earth. I never knew a man of his caliber. I never knew a man of his caliber could be that humble, especially an Ijebu man. From Ijebu, day of all places. Unbelievable. So yeah, that's what we are saying, that don't stereotype people. From Ijebu of all places. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? God is trying to prove to us that anything good can come from anywhere. He doesn't care. It could come from Calabar, or it could come from Owerri, or it could come from Ijebu. Anywhere. God could raise up anyone he wants to. And yeah. That's a good thing about God. Now, the next point I want to give you regarding raising up godly children is we should know that all children are God's plans, are God's intention. Or how do I say it? All children are in God's plan. Even those children who came out of rape, even the children who came out of mistake, even the children that were not planned for, even the children that, came out of rape, even as horrible as rape. No children comes into this world, though, without God giving a consent to it. No child comes to this world, without God giving a consent to it. God does not allow any human life to come to the earth without his permission. So, it's a waste of time to just be saying that it's your own child that you must treat well. It's a waste of time to just be good to your own child alone. To God, all children are his own production. All children were made by him. All children were sent from heaven, no? All children are his children. Do you remember that Jesus said, let all children come to me? That's what he's trying to say. Even if they are born by a mad woman in the street. In Africa, we have mad women in the street. It's going crazy, right in the street. And sometimes they get pregnant because of mad people go and make love to mad women too. And sometimes people who are not mad go and make love to mad women while they are in the street. And they have baby coming together. Even if that is the case, that child was given permission by God to come. And even if you find, even those children that are thrown into garbage, into the dustbin, right? Even sometimes you can find children in dustbin. Even those ones, they are God's children. So the kind of thing that we see sometimes in Africa when children are being demonized and being called witches or witchcraft children and being thrown away and being rejected, that is an abuse. That is a total abuse. It's an abuse of human life and abuse of human dignity. Every life comes from God. God is the author of every life. And that's why we are against abortion. So for you to be selecting and saying, this is my own child, it's coming from my blood. This is my own child, it's coming from my wife. That is egoism. It's called selfishness. It's egocentrism, egoism, and selfishness. It's just love for self. But if you really love God, you will love all of God's children. If you really love God, you will love all of God's children. Every child is good. No child is better than the other one. And no human being is better than the other one. The only thing that makes us better are the qualities, are the value systems, and the principles that we have been able to develop in ourselves. Monica said, Pastor Sunday is because Ijebu people are always very rich and mostly proud. You are not like that. You are very humble and down to earth. Wow. So Ijebu people are rich, yes, I know that. But are they proud also? Most likely, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know that. I'm hearing that for the first time. I know that people say the Ijebu people are stingy, rich and stingy, but proud. Maybe they are proud. I don't know. Who knows? Those ones I know are okay. Nikki Christian saying, MMM, my feet Nigerian like quick money. It's like collecting someone else's money to give another person. Awabu, Sabu, Lalejo. What goes round comes around. Wow, that's true. Then Nkiro says, a very common thing in Nigeria, when you treat your own children like princes and treat the maids of the same age like horrible from maltreatment. Yeah, that's horrible. That is bad. That's because people don't recognize that all children are God's children. All children are supposed to be loved the same. All kids are God's kids. Ufoma Anigoro said, I guess it's because of this mentality how many women don't also want to adopt, but will get into every crooked means to get their own children because any other person's child is questionable. That's the problem, because we are not seeing those children as God's children. We are thinking it's a child of Alexandra, or is a child of Mary, or is some woman's child. It's God's children. God sent children to this world. You know, there are some people who could be married, and you could be mating, and you will never be pregnant. Why? Because if God doesn't send a child, if God does not give the consent, a child, no human being comes to this world. So any child that is born into this world, it doesn't matter through. Do you know that in my own village where I was born, I think any human being that was alive and that was there in that time when I was growing up in my own village, every single one would say, nothing will ever amount of this one. I was despised by all. Van, even if you are going to give me out for free. Even if I was going to be given as a padaro, or as a gift, just for free like this, as a donation, nobody in that village was going to accept me as a free gift. What am I saying? You never know. You don't know. It's not about, because by what people were saying, just by looking physically, what people were saying, this was a very bad choice. It was a very bad gift. In fact, people might think that even if we take this boy as a gift, he's going to bring bad luck. Everything that has been okay in the house is going to scatter if you take this one. So even as a gift, I would not have been accepted by anybody. Even if it's not a gift, even if you just take me like this and you just write a note and say, take him, or take his anybody can take him. Anybody, just to be walking around the city, anybody take him who wants him. Nobody will take. Everybody will pass by the other road. That is how I was despised. In fact, sometimes my grandmother will be invited to visit somewhere, and because I was the only one with her and nobody to leave me with, she would take me along with her to go and visit or to party or somewhere. I would be smelling, no clothes, big stomach. But I had so many wounds and scars, wounds in my body. At any single point, I'll be having 20 wounds. Smelling and stinking. And so anywhere I appear like this, it will be that it's a celebration of house flies. All of them are all over me. Flies, house flies. I used to think, why are flies all over here now? I was always thinking when I was young, why is it that all these flies are always, why are they not following him? I used to wonder a long time, yes. I used to think, why is there all these flies are always here, all my head alone? Do I have some excreta from the toilet here or what? Or what's happening? I didn't know that because I was living with the wounds, so I didn't hear all this stinking and the rottenness of I was saying the rottenness that it was dropping and dripping, but I never knew it was smelling also. But other people who were there, they were saying, and the flies were the confirmation. So why am I saying this? If you condemn a child, right now, Table Jacqueline is saying, wow, 20 wounds? Table, you sit down for there. You wait. You come till you come to see me. I will show you my legs. My legs. You will count 200 wounds in my legs. 200 in my 2 legs. You are talking of 20. I'm just talking of 20 as the immediate, any minute, any second. Even though it's just like 30, 40 years ago, but if you still come to see me now, I can show you my legs and you will see the scars of up to 200 scars. You'll still be able to count in my body. But anyone that did not pick me up that time will do anything to pick me up today. Maybe I will be picking them up, actually. It could be the opposite this time. I think I'm the one to be picking up the whole village, as a matter of fact. So don't you think that any child is not God's child? Every child is God's child. Every child is God's child. So don't be looking at children as if my children, or these children, these are not my children. No, everybody is good. Everybody is good. Everybody is God's children. Okay, the next point I'm going to give you. Love all kind. love any child that God gives you. Even if it's a disabled child, make sure you give your best. You love that child the best you can. Love the obedient child and the disobedient child. Love all any kind of child that God gives you. Be happy. Show your happiness to that child, that you are happy to have him in your family. Show your joy to that child. Show your covering, your love, your acceptance, your total covering to that child. Because I was a stubborn child when I was growing up. I was like a curse. Even to my own grandmother, the only person who accepted me in her life, I was like a curse to her. I did horrible things. I was bad. I was hooligan because I was feeling anger inside me. For all that rejection, they were regenerating some anger inside of me. So, and I was taking on the anger on the woman, on the poor woman, my grandmother. So I looked like totally hopeless, totally, in fact, she was taking me from one, in Ijebu people are also known to be a center, a place of black magic and herbalists and witchcraft and all. She was taking me from one herbalist to the other, from one magic house to the other. The more she takes me, the worse it became. My home was not curable. This was not helping. Nothing was helping. Nothing helped. God has his own agenda. So love your children the way they are. Even if they are stubborn now, even if they are disobedient now, or they are disabled now, or they are not nice now, or they don't look handsome now, or they are not beautiful now, or they are short now, or they are slim now, or they are too thin now. Whatever you think they have defects or something they misbehave or they are not behaving well or anything, love them anyhow. And love them with the best love that you can. Well, let me see the time. Yeah. Let me see some of your comments. If you have not shared the link to this message, I think it's a good idea to share the link to this message. I think it might be a good idea to share the link to this message. Yeah, that might. It might be a good idea to share the link to this message. TY, what does that mean? Oro, buruku, toun, te, erin. May God be magnified. Is that the meaning? May God be magnified. But oro, I think is word. Oro, buruku, that's bad word. Toun, I don't know toun. Te, I don't know what that means. Erin, I think it's laughter. So I don't know. You have to translate to TY. Omonika says, Pastor Sunday, yes, you will still have the scars now. Wait until you get to Nigeria. All the relations that were not doing anything with you then will be telling people that you are related to them. Praise God for your life. Gladys says, it wasn't you, sir, but your situation, Pastor. Faithful God. Lara says, so rejection results to anger. Oh, you didn't know? Thank God. It means you've never suffered rejection then. TY says, you are beautiful and amazing, Dr. Delaja. What a glorious, mighty God we serve. I'm so teary right now. No child is a rubbish. Love every child, even the seemingly unlovable. Love you big, sir. Thank you. Joyce says, yes, love any child that God gives you, right. Kelsey says, very true, because some parents have favorites. Sandra says, the rejected stone has become the chief cornerstone. Sisi Ade said, what a friend whose husband had a one-night stand and had a child. She finds it difficult to accept the child. Yeah, that because she's not aware or she's not, admitting the fact that every children are from God. God, Paul Oriade says, God does not do anything without a purpose. Yes. And that your story is a great story. Thank God. Tebo see you today. Indeed, you can pick 1,000 now. 1,000 people from that village, yeah. Yeah. Ufoma said, I saw a video where when you showed your legs, sir. Very sad and made me cry. Judith Ali said, Pastor Sunday, wow, you have a big heart. The story is sad, but you are laughing at the same time. Yeah, what will I do? The cry, I'd go cry. I had cried already when I was small. Now it's time for laughter. Monica said, Pastor Sunday, yes, sir, it is the children that are despised that end up on top. Father's relation despise us too. God is good. We are all right now. Yeah. She Gongwa for says, Pastor Sunday, I owe you ox in arrears. Not a funny story at all. Not funny. Yeah. Darling Madu says, sir, you want to make me cry. TY says, funny story but heartbreaking. Your story is always leaves me in tears. Yep. Darlene says, sir, if people don't go through something, they will never understand. Yeah, sure. She said, that's why God is using you. He always goes where even the devil can't imagine. I know what you are talking about. Yeah. Rochelle White says, wow. And look at the call of God on your life now. Kelzy said, I've learned something new today, that no child comes into this world unless God permits it. Yep. Noel Okoshuku, that whose name I don't want to mention, is a great son, so gifted. Till today, we don't know his mom or dad. Wow. Obina says, why the Bible says that illegitimate child shall not enter the assembly of the Lord? Well, is that not the same Bible that says that let all the children come to me? Legitimate or illegitimate? I would rather go with that one in the New Testament rather than go with the Old Testament one. And I would rather go with the word of Jesus, who came to reveal Christ and to reveal God, than go with the word of the law. Noel Okushuku, sir, you are right, sir. We picked up a boy from the dustbin and trained him. Wow, today that boy is so bright, intelligent, and plays football like a professional. Wow, he's still with my mom. Amazing. You see? Ufoma said, it is a mentality that women don't want to adopt, but we go into every crooked way to have children. Yeah, that's so sad. Charles Smith says, wash Pastor Sunday's leg wounds on this video. But you didn't attach the video, Charles. There is no video here. Ah, okay, you had put the video on top and put the comment separate. There is a video here that where my legs are being exposed, all the wounds of my legs. So follow the video of the link. You will see the wounds there. Nedu Mbakwe said, God gives us children not according to our desires, but according to his purpose. As parents, we are to discover their purpose and not to impose ours on them. Yep. Nkiru Ojimadu said, what a message today. Thank you, sir. Loving and enjoying my children. Come what may. Yes? Fola Shade is saying, Dr. Adelaja, can't you read Yoruba, sir? I have to go and resurrect it. I forgot my Yoruba, yes. Okay, what TY was saying in Yoruba is that the subject is serious but bad and bad but hilarious. Yeah. Darlene says, faithful God, thank you so much, sir. You don't know how many people you are healing right now. God continue to bless your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She, Sandra, says, Pastor, you are a blessing to us and we are grateful. Thank you. Well, it's been nice being with you guys this evening. Have a wonderful evening and we'll see you tomorrow morning, okay? Have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye.